What's going on, everybody? It's the one and only Q here from Retro Q Gaming, and we're back with an episode of our Quack experimental podcast. We are up to episode 71 here today, and, well, frankly, they've just been a little all over the place lately. Frankly, I've been a little bit all over the place lately, and that is why. Anyway, episode 71. We have a decent amount of stuff. Some of it, yikes. Some of it, not so yikes. So, let's get right into it anyway, shall we? First one up. We want to talk about next-gen chicken, as I call it, because it's just getting so tedious at this point, for multiple different reasons, which we'll cover right now anyway. So, we all know that between Sony and Microsoft waiting for the other person, the other company, if you will, to talk about theirs and reveal theirs and whatnot as well, it's just so sloppy and so messy. Microsoft are arguably worse in this case because they haven't even officially announced the Xbox Series S, but there's leaks everywhere. There's even stuff directly from Microsoft. People have bought controllers and stuff directly from Microsoft, and it's on the printed material included in the box. People are getting this stuff already, and console doesn't technically officially exist yet. It's absolutely ridiculous. You see it on Game Pass cards. Stuff that's bought directly from Microsoft. Not only that, but let's just go with the Xbox Series L for a second. No price. No full proper release date even. We have November. There's rumors of the start, the 3rd, the 6th. It's just an absolute mess. Absolutely disastrous. Sony as well. Sony, no price, haven't even showed us the back of the console yet because we don't know what ports are there, other than the fact that there's no optical audio output. And both of these consoles are out in 2 months. 2 months. We're here at the start of September. These are out in 2 months. It just really goes to show how much of a joke consoles and console companies are. But at the end of the day, it won't matter for two different reasons. It won't matter between the two companies. Why? Because no matter what happens when it comes to pricing, reveal, ports, whatever it is, Sony are just going to slaughter Microsoft. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. That's it. They're done. But the other one, to show just how crap both of these companies, and just consoles in general, and the way console companies treat their plebeian little fanboy armies and dregs and whatnot as well. Here, over in the glorious PC Gaming Master Race, Nvidia, who respect their customers. Why? Because we're adults, unlike the console kids. So, what did we have? Just a few days ago, we had a new product announcement reveal, a new series line reveal. What did we get during that whole thing? Well, we got a spec reveal, we got demos of said specs, we got the physical reveals, we got the connection and port reveals, price and release date all at once. Oh, and by the way, this stuff is out in 2 weeks, 2 to 3 weeks, depending on what one you're looking for. Or I guess you could say 1 month if you want to talk about the entry-level card that no one cares about. But all of this, before next-gen consoles have even said any of this. Absolutely laughable. And the thing to add extra insult to injury. Sure, there's a GPU out in 2 weeks that will completely destroy next generation consoles. There's a GPU out in 3 weeks that makes an absolute mockery. It's so far ahead. It makes such a they're not even in the same conversation. It's so far ahead. And that's only 3 weeks away. And then 1 month away, we have the entry-level bad boy, which still significantly destroys all next-generation consoles. Destroys the world's most powerful console, the Xbox Series L. The most powerful and most irrelevant console in the world. Can't wait for the RTX3000 series, baby. I'm not talking... You know what? We're going to save that for another topic a little bit later. Because now we're going to hit up a little bit of Resident Evil news. Now, I know what you're thinking. Oh, Q, what Resident Evil are they remastering this time? Or what's getting a port? Or what's getting an upgrade? Or what are we talking about? Resident Evil 8 Village? Come on, hit me with it. No. We're on the opposite end of the spectrum. We're on the Resident Evil 6 end of the spectrum. It's that level of probably bad. So, Netflix, who jump on all types of bandwagons, are jumping on the Resident Evil bandwagon. Yes, I know, absolutely awful. Netflix have confirmed they are launching a TV show of Resident Evil, and it sounds like a fucking Scooby-Doo thing. Let me give you the official blurb about it. I don't have much to say about it because I'm just... Anyway, when the Wesker... Let's try that one again. When the Wesker kids move to New Raccoon City, the secrets they uncover might just be the end of everything. That's it. That's all we know. But Wesker kids, New Raccoon City. Oh my god. It's confirmed to be live action. No word on a date or stars or actors or anyone involved in it really yet. But all I can say is currently my money is on a big fucking yikes, dog. But speaking of Netflix doing their thing and fucking everything up, well, we have a new little bit of information. Came out just this morning. So I guess that's unfortunate enough. Shenmue the animation. That's right. Shenmue the animation, a once great series with 2 amazing games, is going to receive the Netflix abortion treatment. Now, it is going to be an animated series, as the name suggests, called Shenmue the Animation so far. It's going to be produced by Telecom Animation Film. It's produced mainly for Crunchyroll, contracted out to them. 13 episodes, no date just yet. Already said animated show. And Yu Suzuki is on board as executive producer. So, how do I feel about this? I don't. I just don't. Anything new involving Shenmue 1 or 2 is pointless and irrelevant. The masterpieces already exist. They cannot be expanded upon or done anything differently or better. As far as I'm concerned, none of this matters. And next up we'll talk a little bit about PS5 news. That's not really news, but everyone wants to make news despite it not being news, and have been announced and confirmed several times before. But, well, idiot's going to idiot, clickbait's going to clickbait, so here we are. We're going to talk about backwards compatibility on the PlayStation 5, or lack of which, depending on what way you're looking at it. So, as previously announced several times by Sony, the PlayStation 4 is only backwards compatible with PS4 and PS4 Pro enhanced titles. Now, we already knew this because it was announced several separate times. But everyone made up their usual bullshit, their usual lies, their usual fanboy drivel, their usual, dude, my source, trust me, bro, that kind of thing. This is why you don't listen to other YouTubers that speak all these fanboy lies. Now, everyone just had already decided that it was going to be backwards compatible with PlayStation 1, 2, and 3. No idea why, other than the ones that we just listed. But a new Ubisoft FAQ posted for some of their stuff specifically shut that all down. I will read you a quick excerpt here from it. Backwards compatibility will be available for supported PlayStation 4 titles, but will not be possible for PlayStation 3, PlayStation 2, or PlayStation games. No surprise there. You wonder why? Because Sony had previously said several times it's only compatible with PlayStation 4 and PlayStation 4 Pro titles. This is completely expected. Granted, it is somewhat slightly bullshit, but it's still expected. It was announced multiple times. Fanboy idiots. Speaking of fanboy idiots, we're going to look at the Nintendo side of it, because there's been a Mario 35th anniversary special happening, a little mini direct the other day, and, well, some stuff came out of there that's, well, very, very questionable. Now, I'm not going to talk about everything in there. In fact, I'm going to specifically hone in on one or two things. Mainly shite ports, zero effort ports, no effort ports, extreme basic effort ports at best. So, what are we talking about? Well, there's a new one called Super Mario 3D All-Stars. And we already have Super Mario All-Stars, where they even put more effort into remastering the original Mario, Mario Bros. 2, Mario Bros. 3, back in the Super Nintendo. When they even improved the graphics. Because they actually improved the graphics. So, in this one, this new 3D one, we have Super Mario 64, Super Mario Sunshine, and Super Mario Galaxy. Now, these ones have practically no improvements, despite being optimized for Switch, as they say in their laughable reveal trailer and all as well. The reason for that is that these official Nintendo versions in this collection, that's right, remember, official Nintendo, paid for, company that can afford development resources and whatnot. Well, they run worse and look worse, perform worse, and are overall worse than what individual free people are able to do with emulation and PC ports. Now, what do I mean? Well, based on the trailer, Super Mario 64 is 30 frames per second. Super Mario Sunshine is 30 frames per second. Mario Galaxy is 60 by the looks of it. But the resolution is another one we're going to talk about. Resolution on Super Mario 64, it's very low. I believe it is 960 by 720, 940 by 720 perhaps. Super Mario Sunshine, docked 1080p, handheld 720p. By the way, Super Mario 64, that resolution, the same in both modes. Super Mario Galaxy, remember this is a Wii game. The Switch can barely run. Dynamic 1080p, dynamic 720p. One is handheld, one is docked, of course. But you get the idea. These are very, very basic. Very, very low effort. Practically no importance whatsoever. And it wouldn't surprise me if Nintendo never even fixed the camera for Super Mario 64. Granted, they're going to have to do something about the lack of analog shoulder buttons because they have massively inferior digital shoulder buttons on the Switch. But absolute yikes. And not only that, but all of this is available only for a limited time at $60. Zero effort ports. $60. Releasing on September 18th up until the end of March. And then not only will the physical version go away, but the digital sales of this collection will also cease. Imagine that. Imagine how much of a rip-off this is. Now you might be wondering, well, no one will support this. This is ridiculous. It's the complete opposite. Complete opposite. The Nintendrones are absolutely lapping this up. And I've made some nice comparisons about this. Let's look at some other companies with some remakes and or remasters that have put more effort in for less, shall we? Let's say Tony Hawk's Pro Skater remastered. Launched just yesterday. Includes 2 games. Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 1 and 2. It's fully remastered to the point where it's basically a remake. Look at it that way. 2 games, full remake, $40 to $45, depending on where you live and the platform you buy. $40 to $45, 2 full from the ground up remakes. Crash Bandicoot, 3 full from the ground up remakes. $40 to $45 when it launched. Remember, these games are still fully available, not limited time only. Spyro, same deal again. 3 full from the ground up remakes, $40 to $45. And this Nintendo shit, absolute joke. I pointed this out, that anyone who watches for a long time, you know I'm a big retro guy. It's in the name. They've lost me. The company that is the worst the company that is probably the most prized, if you will, and most focused on when it comes to retro and retro collecting, retro gaming, even just in general, is the company that is the worst for it in practically every way. They've just completely lost a proper fan like me. It's an absolute joke, an absolute shit show. And not only that, I'll just throw the other little bit out on front of it too, just because. There's also a remaster of Super Mario 3D World coming out with a little bit of extra content. You're welcome, by the way, because I forced this to happen, as we talked about the other day, because I just finished streaming a few days ago, and I said, you know what, about 2 days after I finish this, they're going to announce a port. What do they do? Announce a port. So you're welcome. Everything else that was included with this is not even worth talking about, because it's all just so laughably bad. Fuck this company. Fuck anyone who supports stuff like this. And fuck this company yet again. Zero effort. No fucking effort. Cunts is all I can say. Don't support this shit. Oh, but you will, because you're fucking idiots. Not you guys specifically, but the people out there. You know what I mean. But you know what? It's not all doom and gloom with shitty companies like Sony and Nintendo and Microsoft, because we actually have a good company working in some way for once. CD Projekt Red, aka Based CDPR. Simply because, even though they're primarily focusing on Cyberpunk 2077, hopefully it doesn't get delayed and comes out in the next 2 months or so, and, well, they're pretty much all focusing on that, they've also went on to announce that The Witcher 3... That's right, that 5-year-old game that sold a shitload of copies and was massively critically acclaimed and all from 5 years ago, but I already said that, from earlier in this generation, is now getting a next-gen version. Now, this next-gen version has no date. It's just that it's coming later to Xbox Series L, PlayStation 5, and, of course, the glorious PC Gaming Master Race. It's going to include stuff like ray tracing and better load times, better textures, better quality, better effects, blah, 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 yada, yada, yada. No word if the console version will actually finally have a proper frame rate and it doesn't run like shit. But, well, that's why we have the glorious PC Gaming Master Race, the best place to play all games. And better than all of this, it is a free update. So if you do have on PlayStation 4 or Xbox One, you will get the free update down the line. You just pop your disc in or boot up your digital copy and it will be updated automatically, and that's it. You're good to go. Same with the PC version. It will be patched in, and that's it. You download it. You download your patch, you turn it on, you click that little ray tracing button, you turn on all the extra stuff. Of course, you'd have an SSD for the last 8 years because you're a PC gamer, so you get all those extra benefits too. So, it's pretty glorious. Based CD Projekt Red with the free updates, all these other companies being scumbag AF. Now, here we are with the most important thing, the big important one to talk about, because this is, yeah boy, we're talking about Nvidia. Nvidia have announced new graphics card series, the RTX 3000 series, and they are absolute monster cards. Complete monster. Rip next gen consoles, rip AMD GPUs, rip RDNA 2, rip Big Navi, rip fucking everything. In fact, rip anything old Nvidia by a significant margin, because we have 3 new announced cards at the moment. So we have the 3070, which is better than a 2080 Ti for less than half the price. 3070, significantly better than a 2080 Ti for $500. That makes it way ahead of any next generation console. We also have the 3080, which is performance-wise almost double the 2080 Ti. $700. Performs 70 to 90% better in tested games so far than a 2080 Ti. Yeah, imagine that. But not only there, we have the big dog, the big dog, the big nuts, the Q special as we call it. And we have the 3090, aka the rebranded Titan for this generation. 24 gigabytes of GDDR6X RAM. 4 times the performance of a 2080 Ti. Twice the performance of a 3080. Now, it is a bit expensive. It's around $1,500 or so. But, just to reiterate how powerful this is, Battlefield 5, 8K resolution, maxed settings, ray tracing, 8K 60 frames per second. Yeah, forget your 4K, but either way, the option is there. No one's going to be gaming in 8K, except like 4 people who are doing it for YouTube. But the point is, if it's that powerful, imagine what it can do at lower resolutions. In theory, that would quadruple the frame rate at 4K. Because 8K is 4 times, pixel count at least anyway, it's 4 times, 8K is 4 times 4K. Because it's like a square, 4 quadrants. That's how it works. It's double in both directions. So imagine that. Imagine, just in theory, I know it doesn't exactly 100% translate across that way, but imagine that. If it's 60 frames per second 8K, that's 240 frames per second in 4K. Now, again, I realize it doesn't exactly work that way, but even if you chop off a bit of it, the performance is still there. Imagine that. So good. So amazingly good. I can't wait. Yes, of course, I am getting a 3090, the only way to roll. Now, release date. We're looking at a couple of extra things here. The 3080 is the flagship model. This is the important one for the majority of people, I would say. This is their general, more popular consumer card, and this is what they're pushing. So, the 3080 will be available in just under 2 weeks on September 17th. We also have the 3090, which is the enthusiast level card. Even though it is the best card, it's not the flagship card, because those are different things. But it is the best and most powerful card out of all of them. This one is available a week later on September 24th. I will be getting this. I already have the day off work for it, because there's no way I'm missing this absolute monster of a card. And then about a month later, we have the 3070, which will be coming out at some point in October. Now, important to note that no matter which card you get, you will outperform everything from next generation consoles. Everything. 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 For the next 7 years, you will be destroying them. And then whatever comes out next, even better. And again, even better. Consoles, you're a fucking joke. Just like AMD. People have been saying the big Navi. The big Navi. The big Navi is going to be enthusiast level stuff. The last thing we saw for big Navi was putting it about 25% above a 2080 Ti. In a very specific benchmark that was already skewed towards AMD. Imagine that. Imagine if your top end enthusiast level card that you've been hyping up for the entire time turns out to be better than the top end card of your competition's 2-year-old previous generation, which still loses out to all 3 cards in the next generation. And then some people go, oh, but the price to performance ratio and all as well. You're also giving up all those Nvidia features, which mostly have no equivalent in AMD, because the graphics technology is a load of shite. Now, unfortunately, because AMD is irrelevant in GPUs, this allows Nvidia to charge a little bit more, which is a problem we have. So it would be nice if if AMD would ever get back in the game. Because we've seen it with Intel, when they did get back in the CPU game, well, Intel had to do something about it, including pricing. And now, the problem is, Nvidia are nowhere near AMD. AMD cannot touch Nvidia, and the price reflects this. So that is a little bit of a downside to AMD's incompetence and irrelevance. By the way, look forward to a 3090 on this channel soon, baby, including the appropriate footage to go with it, and maybe even an unboxing. Who knows? But speaking of Nvidia destroying the entire next generation of consoles, well, Xbox is taking another L, which, remember, is why we call it the Xbox Series L. However, this one has nothing to do with the power of the console, even though it is significantly worse than all three of AMD or all three of Nvidia's new graphics cards. All this talk of AMD and Nvidia and consoles using AMD, it gets a little bit messy. So, anyway, why are Xbox taking yet another massive L at this point? Well, they're exposed yet again as being probably the worst pace to play. Well, that's debatable with the Switch as well, because, well, at least the Xbox will get games. So, yeah. Anyway, free to play. Or not free to play, or, well, that's what we're going to talk about now. So, Xbox has got a lot of flack in the past, rightfully so if you ask me, for requiring paid Xbox Gold subscriptions for free to play games. Now, as far as I'm aware, it doesn't apply to every single one of them, but it applies to free to play games, which of course is a bit of a problem. Now, essentially that makes them not really free to play games after all. When you do have to pay for subscriptions to play a free to play game, it's not really a free to play game then, is it? And of course, it's more notable when other consoles will allow the same games for free to play online with no subscription. Why? Because they're free to play. Now again, this doesn't apply to all games, but you get the idea. So, what are we talking about here anyway? Rocket League. Rocket League is going free to play in an upcoming update. However, this new free to play one exposes Xbox, because the upcoming changes will make Rocket League free to play completely and remove the requirement of the terrible Nintendo Switch Online service and PlayStation Plus. However, Xbox users still getting shafted and treated like the 50th class citizens that they are by still requiring Xbox Live Gold. Xbox users really are bottom of the barrel, aren't they? But hey, they're just battered wives at this point. They don't know any better. And why would they be getting mad at the likes of, I don't even know who makes Rocket League, Psyonix? Well, they should be getting mad at Microsoft for not changing the policy. Absolute bullshit. Can't wait till Microsoft, well, I was going to say I can't wait till they go out of business. That's not true. They're already just going to remain completely irrelevant. But I guess technically it's better to have them around because, well, we don't want to give someone a even bigger monopoly than they already have when it comes to gaming. So, of course, it wouldn't be another episode of the Quack Experimental Podcast without everyone's favorite and best part of the entire thing, would it? So, as always, what's going on? What's up? What's going down? Q, what's the deal? What are you playing? What is the 411? Well, this little segment is going to be broken into two parts. We're going to do something slightly different here today. So, first off, what am I playing anyway? Well, Super Mario 3D World is something I've been streaming for the last couple of days, or at least earlier on in the week. I guess it has been a few days since I finished it now. But the point is, it's done. It's finished, and that's out of the way. I wanted something a little bit different. I turned on my Wii U with the intent of playing Xenoblade Chronicles X to give it another fair shake after replaying Xenoblade Chronicles Definitive Edition earlier this year on the Switch. And then I sat down, I started playing Xenoblade, and I just thought, you know what, I just need something different. I need something a little bit easier to kind of focus on, a little bit something to digest, something a bit more fun and lighthearted to play. And then I decided I'd stream Super Mario 3D World. That's done, that's all that matters. Tony Hawk's Pro Skater, I have been playing it. Believe it or not, my hate boner for Epic is so hard and so strong that, well, because it's not cracked yet, I couldn't wait to play it. I ended up buying it on Xbox. Yikes, imagine that, right? I have basically almost entirely completed the game. I only bought it last night. And my Tony Hawk's 2 progression is complete. My Tony Hawk's 1 progression is on about 90%. Now, that's of course not including doing the whole thing with every character, but I created my own skater, and, well, I'm almost completely done in that way. It's a shitload of fun, though. That's the main thing, anyway. That's, of course, I will be acquiring it on PC when it becomes available, if you will. And who knows, maybe I'll stream that or play some stuff on there too and use the footage and videos. By the way, I still have it. I'm still a beast. That's the important thing. Now, coming up next, I'm still not sure what to do. I still don't feel like I'm ready to go back to another big RPG at the moment. So the potential next option is, I have sitting over there, that's why I was looking at it, Donkey Kong Country Tropical Freeze on the Wii U, because I'm not paying for the shitty Switch remaster. But I have Donkey Kong Country Tropical Freeze on the Wii U. I may stream that as a another nice little break away from an RPG before I get started big into it. We'll see how it goes. I was also potentially thinking of doing Mario Galaxy. Funny enough, I was thinking about that before I can't even call it remaster, before the poor port was announced. But of course, naturally, if I do decide to do it, I will be playing the Wii version on my Wii U, because I'm not playing that fucking piece of shit on the Switch. I'd rather just emulate it on Dolphin if I cared that much. Spoiler alert, I don't. That's why I just play it on there anyway. Or, like I said, potentially I could go back to another big RPG. I don't know yet. There's a lot of effort and time between all that. But like I said, there is Xenoblade Chronicles X, and I still want to redo Chrono Trigger. There's also a couple of other RPGs I have on my Virtual Console, on the Wii U, or in Wii mode. There's also some other retro stuff I want to play, both on and off stream. The list goes on. The choices are almost endless for me. I have too much to do. I have, what do they call it, choice paralysis. I'm spoiled for choice, basically. And that's it. Now, having said all that, okay, we're going to break it down here. We're going to get a little bit serious for a moment. So, we're going to mix it up. What's going on, everybody? It is your boy. Still staying safe, despite no mask. Luckily, I'm inside, so can't really catch anything here. Anyway, what's the deal here? Well, I don't know. I've been having a rough last little while. Personally, rough. Mentally. And I don't know. I don't know what's wrong. I don't know how to combat it. But it's really draining me in basically every way. That's why you may have noticed for the last, I think, 2 or 3 weeks now that these episodes, maybe I skipped a week or it was a couple of days late and whatever it was. I find the drive to do almost anything just too much to bear. That's why I was so hyped. One of the reasons why I was so hyped for Tony Hawk's Pro Skater, and the fact that, when's the last time you heard of me buying something that I knew I could get on PC? Let's just say with Tony Hawk's, I know that will be cracked within a few days, but I just needed to play something. Needed to play something I was excited for. Needed to finally play something I could get into. Something I was actually not available. It was available to me to be hyped for. That's a big one. That's a big one. So basically, I don't know what's wrong. My motivation is shot. It's not specifically to do with anything online. My motivation in every aspect of my life is fucked, basically. My work suffers at the moment. My real life suffers. My social life suffers. Everything here suffers. I don't know how to fix it or what to do. Or I'm not depressed. At least, as far as I know, I'm not. But I don't feel like I am. And I'm just, I don't know, I'm in a mentally bad place, and it's probably affecting everything. You may have seen it, especially with, like I said, the last couple of stuff being late or all over the place or whatever it was. Today, I mean, I'm sure all the topics we talked about, many of them were very, very short. I just don't have the drive to talk about them. I could have talked about any of these for 10 minutes in a previous episode when I was feeling better. So I don't know. I mean, it's to the point where I'm excited for the Nvidia 3000 series. But everything else, what's going to happen when I get that? I mean, sure, I'll have some stuff to play and all, but I just won't. I don't know. I won't say I won't enjoy it. I won't say I won't be feeling it. I don't know. It's just rough. I can't deal with shit at the moment. I don't care what it is, who it is, wherever it is, what part of my life it is. I'm just exhausted. Not even exhausted. Exhausted. I'm just tired. No, I'm not tired. I'm drained. And well, basically, I'm having trouble dealing with it. So, we'll see how it goes. That's just it being real for the moment anyway. Hopefully it gets better. Hopefully it doesn't get any worse. And I'm trying different stuff. I'm trying things to break my usual monotony, my grind, my anything. So far it's not working. But anyway, that's that. We're going to leave it here with a no big outro this time. Just remember, the winners don't play switchboards.